Hello everyone, I'm AlissaTheSimmer and welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a collab with Grassamere, aka Grace, here on YouTube. She is an amazing friend of mine, a simmer friend of mine, and she makes such adorable videos. She also has been doing a lot of new things with her channel, so you guys need to go check her out. She is amazing. When I first seen her channel, I just thought of how amazing it was and how great it was and how I really wanted to be her friend, and now we are friends, and I'm super grateful for her friendship and just getting to know her and stuff like that. So our idea for this collab is that we were both going to make the same house, but the layout was going to be a bit different. So this is the house that we are trying to do in our build. So she is making the exact same house, except we don't know what we were going to do with the inside. So the layout and the backyard and things like that are completely different from each other. The only thing that is the same is that we used this picture as a reference to make the outside of the house. But yeah, I had a lot of struggle with trying to figure out how to make it replicate the house. I did test it out before I started recording, and I couldn't find the proper lot, and I was just having a lot of trouble with the proportions. But I finally figured it out, and I think it turned out pretty great. The roof is definitely the biggest thing that makes this place, I think, in my opinion, and I'm not always great at roofs, so I think I done a decent job with doing the roof this time because, you know, I had a reference. It wasn't like I was doing it on my own, which is when I have a lot of trouble, is when I try and make a cool roof style on my own, and I most of the time fell at it. But yeah, I did end up doing a garage on the side, and it's not the best garage. I am almost 100% sure that Grace done a way better job at building this house than I did. I'm not necessarily used to building traditional houses. I prefer to build modern houses because they just don't take as much work, in my opinion. I don't know. But I just don't. Traditional houses are a little harder for me, in my style. So I'm sure that Grace done a way better job than me on doing this house. I am surprised that I got good enough windows that went well with this house, because usually I struggle with windows a lot in The Sims 4. They never fit on the grid properly. I really wish you could like move them freely without being annoying. Like it's super annoying because they just stay on the grid and there's no way to make them where I want to make them. Also, I did edit out a few of the parts because this part ended up being extremely long, so I cut out me doing like little things like the landscaping and stuff like that. The garage is not perfect. It's okay. It I really wish that the city living garages worked as not worked as actual garages, but was proper garage size, and they're not. They are kind of smaller than an actual garage, which annoys me so badly. Yeah, I try and avoid garages in The Sims 4, but I ended up trying to make one anyway. Also, the layout of this place, it's a little strange. Yeah, one half of the house is like the living area, and the other half is the bedrooms. And it's a 3 bedroom and 3 bath. And like there's a master bathroom and there's a shared bathroom in between the kids' rooms. I did do 2 kids' rooms, and you will see them later. But yeah, now the garage goes off of the kitchen, which you will see me do in a minute, is make the kitchen Also, I'm trying to do the garage and put a car in there. It's so funny when people size up those cars, so I thought I would do it myself. I'm sure since this family has, a mom and dad and two kids, that they probably would have had two cars, but I only made a one car garage, so I only put one. And then I put a garage. I put a refrigerator out in the garage and a shelf. I thought it was super realistic because a lot of people have like second refrigerators out in their garage. And I put a couple of little clutter and junk out there just to make it look realistic. Um, yeah, and I put a basketball, and I think I put a basketball court in the backyard. Yeah, I do. I put a basketball court, so it's super cool to have that little basketball sitting there and a tub of toys. Like, we don't want these toys in the house. So I thought it was fun to put all of that clutter out in the garage and made it kind of realistic. And yeah, like I said, this door enters the kitchen, so I thought that was super handy because when you come home from like the grocery store, you park in the garage and then you take your food into the kitchen. Even though you don't really go to the grocery store in The Sims anymore, like you can shop for groceries in city living, but it's not necessarily the same. I think in Sims 3 you really had to go get groceries, which was amazing. Um, like I still think Sims 3 is the most realistic out of all of the Sims. Just because it was an open world and you had to get groceries, you had to wash clothes, you could drive. It was like Sims 4, The Sims 3 had everything almost. Like, it could have had more, but it was pretty amazing at what they did have. Um, I don't know how I feel about the Sims 4 having the same things. I know a lot of people think that The Sims 4 should be different and shouldn't have the same things that Sims 3 had. But personally, I would love to have cars. I would love to have preteens. I would love to have seasons. Pets and cars. And I said cars already. But yeah, I would love to have all of those realistic things, but I don't know. It's like up in the air with a lot of people about how they feel. But right now we are in the kitchen, and in that corner, I had a lot of problems trying to figure out what I wanted to do over there where those cabinets are. But I eventually put plants, which filled up the space pretty nicely. And there are three sitting bar stools in the kitchen just to have like breakfast or whatever. But then there is a proper dining room off to the side, which you'll see me do in a minute. Yeah, I ended up using the Parenthood countertops and what's those things? Cabinets for this house because I felt like it was a family house. So I thought it would be nice to use the Parenthood stuff. Um, but yeah, you just see me adding a couple of things. That window is a kind of a weird spot, but I thought of putting plants there just to make it look like they have like a little plants going on so they could water, and it's perfect in front of the window. Um, it's kind of funny when people put a lot of plants in areas that would not have any sunlight and would die. um I personally do it too, but it's just funny to me because it's not realistic. Like, putting plants in a really dark room is not realistic unless they are magical plants or they're fake. Probably most of the time fake. But yeah, it's super funny. So now you see me doing the dining room, and I done like a blue and white and brown kind of style in the dining room. It was pretty cute. I got inspiration from the curtains. But not those curtains, lighter curtains. Yeah, those curtains with the teal and the gray. But I thought that was a really cute idea to have like a little themed dining room, and I ended up putting the fruit bowl in the middle of the table. And yeah, I don't often use that fruit bowl. I want to, like, when I first saw it come out with Parenthood, I thought I would use it all the time, but after having it in my game, I don't use it as often as I thought I would. So that was interesting for me. Now that I'm looking at it, I do use a lot of Parenthood stuff, I guess because I really thought it was a family home. And parenthood reminds me of family more than anything. Um, More than any other pack, parenthood reminds me of family. So, yeah, the living room is pretty simple. I didn't do too much. I could have probably put more stuff in the living room, but this build took me a long time to do, and so I wanted to get it over with by the time I was halfway done, if that makes any sense, because I spent a lot of time trying to get like the size right, that matched the picture and stuff like that. So I didn't necessarily spend a lot of time on adding like realistic things because it was taking a while to do. I believe it took me about 2 hours, and that's kind of long for build for me, um, depending on what kind of build it is. But yeah, I usually spend about 45 minutes to an hour doing a normal build for my channel, but this one took me a little while to do, and so I kind of wanted to finish it as fast as I could once I got like halfway through. But yeah, so now I am heading into this like hallway. The hallway was super huge. I probably could have made it smaller, but there was a lot of space and this empty wall. I didn't know what to put there. I ended up putting like another little office section. I mean, I guess the kids could sit and do homework, even though I did give them desks in their own rooms. Um, it's just like a little desk area for whomever is in the family, or even if someone comes over and is a guest. It's funny because I usually, like in my offices, since the Sims always run to the computer, I always lock the office door just because it annoys the crap out of me when guests come over and use the computer all the time. Like, they don't chat with you, they don't do anything else. They always go to the computer and play the computer. So I always shut the office door and lock it, for anyone but the household. Um, so yeah, that's just like a little tip, because the locking the doors in The Sims is so helpful, because it just gets annoying sometimes. Like with the vintage glamour, you get the butler, and sometimes that butler is extremely annoying, and you even have to give the butler its own room. So you don't want your Sims going into the butler room. That's just really weird and awkward unless you have an interesting storyline going on. Um, but there's a way to lock everyone but the butler, from a room, and just locking doors is like super useful. So I did do a teenage boys room. It doesn't have a lot in it. It's very simple. But that is the room with the futon in it, that bed. And then now I'm doing like a little girl's room, and I thought that was a cute little mixture, a teenage boy and a girl. Um, yeah, the girls' room is pink and blue, which I love. It definitely fits really well together. There's a lot of teal and pink stuff for the kids, so it really worked. And now I am starting on the master bathroom, and I gave 2 sinks in there. Also, the window in the master bathroom and the guest bathroom cut into the wall, which is super annoying, but since I was trying to replicate the outside to the actual picture, I didn't put anything else there. I just left it and ignored it. And now you see me going through and adding the wallpaper. And I don't use that backsplash kind of tile as much in the kitchens as I thought I would also. Um, but I did end up using it for this build. But yeah, I am almost about done with this place, and I'm just now putting the wallpaper and the brick and stuff on the outside. But I tried to make it look completely like the picture that you will see in the end as well. But yeah, I think I done a pretty good job replicating what the real life picture looked like, and I think it worked pretty well. But I think I'm going to talk about Grace a little bit more because I love her. Guys, you need to go check out Grace. Grace is amazing. If you don't know who she is, she's amazing. She's super fun. She's starting a new Let's Play on her channel soon, and she makes amazing thumbnails. She edits videos amazingly. She's just super awesome, and she's also a part of a collab channel that I'm a part of. It's called Simmer vs. Simmer, and we make Sims, basically. A lot of us do. But this is the screenshots. Also, the holidays lived on this, not the holidays, the roommates lived on this lot, so you will see them in the screenshots, and I thought that was fun because Summer and that other girl, what's her name? Don't know. They end up in the thing. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Be sure to go check out Grace. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.